very good evening to you all. This is Jamshed Mistry, and I have the proud privilege of introducing our guest for this webinar, Mr. Porus Mehta. Welcome, Mr. Mehta. Mr. Mehta is an information security evangelist for over 2 decades now in the industry. Uh, he has a brilliant academic career record. He had completed his Bachelor of Engineering in the field of industrial electronics. He then has obtained an MBA in Information Systems and then an Executive Professional Development Program, that is with entrepreneurship, from the IIM Rohtak. Uh, he has since then done magnificently well and obtained upward of 25 international certifications within the field of cybersecurity, information security grievance, and risk management systems. Ladies and gentlemen, today he will address us on the very topical subject of cyber crimes and cybersecurity. Over to you, Mr. Mehta.
Yeah, thank you very much for a warm welcome. I have actually made a small presentation in terms of which I'll run through in the next 1 hour or something, wherein it will let us know like what are the cyber crimes, what is actually a cyber crime, what does a cyber espionage means. Right now you have many times you find that the attacks are going on. You clearly hear my email is spoofed, right? My bank accounts have been robbed, right? So we'll try to address some of the issues which you can take care of so that you do not face this. At the same time, I'll give you some peak points wherein you can have some control over your children also, because they could be a source for you getting hacked. So we'll consider all this, and let's make this as interactive as possible. With this, I'll share my screen. Okay, so basically what I'm going to speak about for an hour or so is about the cybersecurity and what all cyber crimes we have. How do these cyber crimes can be prevented? If a cyber crime happens, then what to do, right? But moreover, we'll see like try to prevent cyber crimes, and also we'll just see the latest attack that or what certain has mentioned to us, right, about the new COVID-19 malware. Okay. So these are the list of topics which we'll be covering. Basic concepts about cybercrime, what they define, how they define, what is that. We'll see common cyber threats like email spoofing, because these are the common threats which will actually exploit you to the fullest, right? No attack happens just like that. It happens only using these three basic features: email spoofing, malicious file downloaded, and also the worst, the social engineering. Right, we'll consider some of the social networking safeguards, though this will not be an exhaustive list, but I will try to cover most of the social networking safeguards which an individual can do at his home or at his office, or he can inculcate the same culture for his children. Okay, we'll then see the concepts of cyberbullying, which has increased drastically, and with a new cyber threat known as cyber grooming. Right, though there is a very minimal difference between a cyberbullying and cyber grooming, but we'll touch base upon the key difference, and this is the most thing which will affect you as a person, your what you call your family in overall. We'll then see like everyone loves playing games, like what all can go wrong if you play a wrong game and how does it affect you. Going further, we'll see basic online transactions frauds, how they can be prevented, right? How can they be reported? Whom do they need to be reported, and how? Finally, the legal adherence, which is not an option, but now since it's a part of your IT Act 2008, right, and which has been later upgraded 2012 and amended further, so they are not an optional thing. In this, even there is a crime which has been set and punishment has been set for the children's doing wrong stuff. Children and parent both are in trouble if something goes wrong. And finally, some 12 to 16 cyber-based security practices, right, which you need to inculcate so that you are prevented from, say, 80% of the risk or 70% of the risk, because there is nothing which is foolproof, right? So we'll just see the definitions. What is a cybercrime? Cybercrime is nothing as a normal crime, just like you have stabbed someone, you have robbed someone, but a cybercrime uses a computer at the backend. It uses internet or mobile technology by virtue of which he is sitting at some remote location, any part of the globe, and he can affect anyone and everyone in the vicinity of the planet Earth. So that is a cybercrime by virtue of its definitions. And as I said, best and simplest way is the problems, right, which we create for ourselves are exploited by the hacker, right? We go to social networking sites, we enjoy social networking sites, we go to Dubai, America, Russia, everywhere, and just put our nice photos, right? And then the cyber guys make a check like how it happened, where you want, how much money you have, they can envisage, and then they can decide what attack also to do on you or on any other version. So that is known as the targeting attacks. So we'll see some of them. And remember, information security is only as strong as your weakest link, right? You have revealed your password, you revealed your OTP, finish. You have been compromised, you will not get anything in return. As per the latest law from the government, if you have revealed OTP, you are not eligible for even insurance claims. So just be very particular when you're revealing what information you're revealing, okay? Whenever it is possible, never diverge anything of about yourself, because if you have said or sent some information on the internet, right, it will stay there lifelong, right? Like an example, you have posted that you have gone abroad, this is your nice picture, and oops, something wrong had been posted, you delete it from the Facebook, right? But Facebook has that copy lifetime. People might not be able to see it, but tomorrow at the back end, Facebook people or any other online portal or anyone, they already have that copy which is stored. I am also, I hope you also aware that even on the internet also, when you go to www.xyz.com or any site, right, there is an archive of this running since last 25, 30 years. So today, if you want to see how Microsoft looked about 20 years before his website, that also information you can sit down on your computer and find it out. And he will show you how that site exactly looked, what were the exact contents. This is the information he is storing about you. So remember, very particular, what you have said remains lifelong on the internet. Please, you try to delete it, but it never gets deleted, right? As you are aware that most of the time producing, publishing, or transmitting any sexual explicit material, right, or any related thing related to child abuse in electronic form is now mandated and is what you call is targeted under the Information IT Act 2010, IT Act 2000, which has been updated to there are severe punishments as high as even 15 years jail terms, and that's remaining means of your part of your life you are in jail, right? So be very particular about what you are sharing. Accidental shares are also considered as problems. Biggest concern you have is I don't know, right? But then the world will not say that, okay, you are a layperson, you are old, you are this, you don't know that, you come from a generation where computer was not there. They are not going to show any mercy. They will exploit you till they are satisfied, until they get what they want. So let us see the common cyber threats. The first cyber threat, which is the most drastic cyber threat and the easiest cyber threat through which you can be compromised within seconds, email spoofing. Right? Email spoofing is I will try to send out a mail stating that, okay, I am Boris. I know Mr. XYZ so many years. He will click on the link. No sooner he clicks on the link, he is finished. Either a malware comes in or he is taken to some wrong site. I extract his information, I throw him out. Credit card transactions happen, wise up many, many things. Okay, we'll see how to, what it is, how it will, and how to prevent that. Other thing is, right, sending malicious files. Remember, internet is full of malicious files. There is nothing which is free. Many people say, why should I buy Windows 2000 or Windows 10 or Windows 7 when I get a pirated copy? What is piracy? Right? It is a small malicious software which is preventing that application not talking to the Microsoft server and getting you that this is a genuine copy. But do you know what that malicious file is doing actually to you? It might be extracting your credit card information and sending it back to the hacker. Because today, if I have to define that and design that, I also want some money, I also want something in return. So that is why I give out these cracked softwares, right? It is very easy. Like, okay, I have even given you like Adobe Acrobat, right? Many people use Adobe Acrobat, but mostly the pirated version, right? Who will invest about 1,800 every month, or who will buy it for 17,000 and all that, right? But actually you have compromised by using that application, which is actually created a backdoor from your machine to the hacker, right? Sitting there, he can find out what you are doing, what information he wants, you won't even know. These types of application, even an antivirus, right, will not be able to catch, because when you are running that hack, you have given an explicit permission to the antivirus to ignore that. So going forward, even if the hacker is trying to take away your data, antivirus will assume that this is a genuine requirement of some software, allow that hacker to do whatever he wants. So remember, never download a file, or never try to access anything which is a free game or from a websites which are there. Best example of websites is torrents, right? If you are on a torrent site, trust me, 99.999% it is a virus. It will always have a virus with your legitimate program. When your legitimate program gets cracked, you will be enjoying it for 2 3 days, 5 days, but that virus has done its part of sending all your credit card data, all your information with that hacker wants, to him. And finally is social engineering. What is social engineering? Sweet talking, right? Using sweet talks, I will try to extract information, right? Social engineering is also a key thing to find out, like how a thing happened, right? Only by talking, right? By communication. I am not going to send you anything, nor I am leaving any evidence that, okay, I talked to you or anything. This is the way social engineering attack happens. Okay, so let us start in brief about what's email spoofing. Okay, what is actually an email spoofing? Email spoofing is when the sender of an email forges or spoofs the email header of the address. Okay, in this case, what I've given, PayPal, right? I'm paying some money to some IA. It's a PayPal, right? PayPal has written to me, to Boris, right? That, okay, but what is the actual header? It is not PayPal dot something. It is PayPal @hacker.abc.com. Who has sent me that mail? Without knowing what is a part of that mail or whatever, I start sending him the information, right? If I start giving him my credit card data, if I start giving him, he is more happy and he takes away and extracts anything and everything from me, and I am left with nothing. Okay, so email spoofing is the root cause, right? It is our negligence which the hacker will use and get anything and everything whatever he wants. Okay, now let us see why he wants to do that, right? So basically, hiding the sender's true identity is the key thing, right? I will not say that, okay, I will say I am Mr. XYZ, right? I am your cousin XYZ, right? So that it becomes more anonymous, and that lady or that person says that, okay, I'm sending you the information, right? Many times we'll see exactly what are the different hacks which have happened over the recent past 2 years. I have a list of couple of them, right? So please be very sure, see the identity of the email. If you're not sure of the email identity, please do not reply, right? You need to see the header, not the email address, right? I will do this because I want to avoid spamming or become a blacklisted email ID. Okay, if I keep sending you a mail, right, non-stop, right, you will do what? Right click, block, right, or send it to the bin, right? You will create a rule in your Outlook and I'm gone. That is why I'll try to spoof the email, so that you will think that, okay, it is legitimate. I am something from Microsoft. I am something from XYZ company. I am something from this. I have got something good for you. So I will try to do that to avoid being a part of the blacklist, right? Basically pretending to be someone, but I am not actually that person, but I will try to extract sensitive information. These are few of the reasons why I will always try to spoof my emails, apart from right? Apart from getting any information or doing any scams, right? By sending you a spam link, I might even bombard you with all sorts of viruses and anything and everything. I might even put a malware, right? Just recently, about 2 or 3 hours before I got, I think so, one of the big companies have again become a prey to malware, right? Now, let us see, because Cognizant is gone, right? It has now not a shape to come back, right? You must have heard about Honda getting a malware attack. It has stopped its production right from Japan for a certain number of days. So all these, right, come and get your sensitive information and being exploited, all right? I will try to be a pretend that I am a part of that business relation, right? I am a part of this company. I am a part of this bank. Okay. We have found out that, sir, you are not using our account since last 3 months or something, or your credit card has expired. We have found out that someone is using your credit card. Can you send me the details so that I lock it? So all these are type of email spoofings, or I have to make a dedicated effort to tarnish the image of someone, right? So that he becomes in a bad light. Okay, I will keep spamming anyone and everyone based on an XYZ name, right? Which is the core thing to spoil name in the market, right? Or finally sending messages in someone's name so that he can commit an identity theft, right? Okay, I have sent you this. You are, I am from LIC. I have sent you this. You do that, but I'm not from there. I'll remove anything and this, but you will never know who that person was. I am committing an identity theft. These are the key things why email spoofing is so very flourishing, and it is the cheapest option available today. One email ID I create, I can get anything and everything. A hacker creates an email ID almost 20 to 30 times in a day. Okay, so let's see how that email spoofing actually happens, right? A cyber criminal anywhere, he creates a fake account, right? And he sends you a mail. No sooner the mail comes to your place, you will open that mail. Okay, let's take an example of this. There is a mail which has come from customer support at gamingportal.com. You have enjoyed the game, right? They are asking you for a simple feedback. But now the catch lies here. What is the spelling of gaming? Is it correct or not? Right? If you see there is a gaming mail, there is one M which is extra. What does that mean? It is not from that actual portal, right? Many times what happens is there is a domain and there is a letter after the domain, mostly flipkart.com, flipkartxyz.com, right? It is not a genuine Flipkart site. If it was xyz.flipkart.com, it is a genuine site of Flipkart. This is the thing that you need to be very particular, right? How an email ID is to be read, whether you are able to read it or not. I will give you one more example. ICICIbank.com. Okay, if I change one ICICI I to one, 90% of the people will miss it out, especially aged or who are using glasses, who is trying to do anything from the phone. Because the I and one is so very small that they will look genuine. You'll do your transaction and you are finished. Okay, so be very particular about that spoofing, right? The best spoofing messages now have started to come on SMS, right? Right? Emails used to have that. Now when you have it on the SMS, right, you will not be able to find more details in terms of header. You will click on that. So let us take this example which I've shown, COVID-19 anon.com.alert. Okay, COVID-19.anon might be something, but do you know whether what it is? That no sooner you click there, he might put an automatic software in your mobile, right? Mobile phones are the most easiest to compromise. Once the mobile phone gets compromised, all these compromised information is stored in your Yahoo or all your auto sign. No sooner tomorrow you log into your laptop, you have replicated everything to your laptop. Okay, so please be particular when you have to click a link, when you have not to click a link. Once you click a link, and if you find something fishy, get out from that. Close the session. If you're not sure, switch off the phone and restart it. All right. Remember, anytime you have an issue, like it will be mostly related to technological upgrades, right? We are upgrading our system from so and so time. However, if you want, we have made a provision because you are an esteemed customer. We have made a provision. Click on this link. You will can do your online transaction. That is not the site from the genuine from the bank. It is from some other location. Someone else is trying to get your username password, right? After that, you might receive a call that there was some concern, right? You tried to remove some money. There is an OTP which has come to you. Using that OTP, he will log in and do the transaction, and he will remove the money from your account. Okay, so remember, clicking a wrong link is giving up your credentials to cyber criminals. Bottom line of the story. Okay, what are the typical goals of an hacker, right? If I am a hacker, what is in my mind, right? I want from you, I want to obtain your personal and financial information. Which is the easiest source? Your Facebook, right? Your any of your social media sites, your Instagrams, right? Or your any social media where you have put in that, okay, I am a person from Bombay, but most of the time I have visited London, I have visited America, this, that. I get an idea how that person is, what is his financial information, what is its CA, where does he stay, how much does he do, which card does he do, all that I can start building a story. That is my goal in mind, right? Turn over intellectual property and proprietary information of data, right? You are designing, say, let's take an example. Right now, there is everyone who are rushing for the vaccine of COVID-19. If the company who has invested since last 6 months crores of rupees is not able to retrieve that because someone has actually stolen the data and he has used that to create a vaccine, that cost of the vaccine will be much lower than the actual cost which that company would have created, because he has to recover that cost of his scientists, whoever doctors were there for the last 6 to 8 months. So I will try to extract the proprietary information by sending email spoofs, right? Perform a wire transfer or any other electronic transfer. I will even assist you to do that thing seamlessly. I will take you to my website. You just put your username, password. I am going to call you. Please send me the OTP. Once you send the OTP, I will do whatever I want. You have lost the money. Okay. Okay. Please provide login information or any user credential, right? I have extracted your username and password. Like if you see today, most of the dark webs, anytime and every time, if you see, dark webs have all our credit card information, dark have all our Yahoo account IDs, right? All these IDs, passwords, username, password. I'm not going to use it, but I will sell it to the marketing agency. I might sell it to the even hackers, right? There was a time when 70 cents, everyone's credit card was available. Sorry, 1,000 people's credit card was available at 70 cents on the dark web. Then you call to the police then pulls down the site, but till that time people have made copies. Again, the banks, what they will ask you to do, to change the password, right? If the password has been compromised completely, you might have to land up paying another 100 200 rupees and buy your credit card or new one. So all these things are going to create a pain for you, but that is what is hacker's goal. So remember, hacker's goal is always what is bad going to happen to you. And finally, I will assist you so that, right, you download a file. Once you download a file for me, I am the most happiest person, because I have written all the codes, I have opened up your traffic, right? And I have now got access remotely to your laptop or your desktop or your phone. Okay, that is the key goals of hacker. These 5 goals are supposed to be understood by you in terms of that you prevent a hacker exploiting you, right? Gaining a trust is very crucial in pulling off a successful scam. Remember, if I have a trust, how have I built that trust? I have spoofed the email ID. You now know it is from my some cousin from some remote part of the world, or I am from the bank. I have gained your trust. Once I have gained your trust, I will successfully do my scam, right? Some of the phishing examples that you will definitely face or you must have already faced, right? There will be always a mail sent from whatever email ID stating, congratulations, you are hired. Please fill up your details, right? Send me your PAN card, send me your Aadhaar card. If you are in foreign locations, they will ask you for some other confidential informations, right? People say, okay, I am being hired. They can even come and give you that. Must have found out that you have applied to XYZ company. From there, they will create a spoofed ID and say you have been shortlisted. Please submit all your documents, right? All your existing documents are of no use. He will create an Aadhaar card. He will take a PAN card and he will take a credit card on his name, use it, and you will be left behind paying all the bills, right? Another part is students. We have a part-time opportunity. These are the key mails which have been shot in the US and UK, wherein many people have become victims of this. Poor students, right? Right. It is very difficult for an Indian parent to say that, okay, he has gone abroad. He will try to work in some companies for some amount of time, a part-time job, say at Domino's, say at XYZ, right? So all these students are in a lure, right? If I get this, okay, let me give the details. Now if I get the job, it's fine. But you are not going to get a job. You are going to get some trouble because of your stupidity or because of your ignorance you have done. Okay. Similarly, part-time, right? Urgent request from your side. The most thing, right? We have observed that you have not logged in. Your account has been disabled since last 6 months. You are using a bank site genuinely also. You are aware that you logged in before 6 months. Then why would you click on that? Ignore that mail. Read the mail. If there is a link, do not send, right? If there is a link and you find out, read the header. Is it actually? Don't reply to this. Call up the help desk, right? Once you call up the help desk, they will only say that, okay, and they will ask you to forward it so that they can take legal actions from the government side, right? Very simple, as I said. Messages from HR. We are proud to inform you that you have been absorbed in our esteemed company. This is your offer letter. Please send in all your details. Do this, do this, do this, right? You will do it and you will be in trouble. Others, as of now, what course expiration? Generally in US or in other foreign countries, we have a course, okay, which you are enrolled and you were supposed to take this course every 2 months, every 3 months and try to complete it because you have paid it only for that amount of duration. They will send this and they will say, okay, due to some consideration, we are giving our students valid time, but however, you need to pay 100 rupees extra or 200 rupees extra. Question is not 100, 200. Question is when you pay that 100 rupees and 200 rupees, he has taken your credit card, right? If you see most of your games, right? Or on the games, they ask you 3 rupees for a gun, or say if you're paying or something, right? Pay only 75 rupees and I'll give you a pot of 500 points of gold, right? When you're playing some games and all that, right? You'll say, okay, 75 rupees, I'm getting 500 pots of gold. 75 rupees is not what his intention. His intention is very clear that 75 rupees, I am going to multiply thousands and thousands of times. I am interested in your credit card details. Okay. FedEx or Amazon shipment fail, Flipkart shipment fail. Sorry, we could not do. Please call up so and so. You have not paid this, or we have found out that because of the shipment, it has been stuck in customs. Customs has asked us for paying some 1,000 rupees. Please pay up that 1,000 rupees or 5,000 rupees or whatever it is. Again, credit card has been gone. Again, your money is also been gone, right? Email account upgrade. We are proud that seeing your this since last 5 GB, we have upgraded your account to have 25 GB mail space, right? Again, now phishing scam. Any irregular activities which you find which is fishy, right, will be considered as a phishing scam, right? Anytime a PayPal requesting you to need help, right? Most of the companies say, right, you can use our software free. It is a freeware. However, if you want us to continue this, can you please pay something? A PayPal link. That PayPal link definitely will have some or the other issues, right? Help desk notice. Students have this major concern. Help desk notice from a XYZ college where you are hereby noticed that you have not paid your fees. Please pay up your fees immediately or your admission will stand cancelled right in front of you, or you have not paid your exam fees. They will try to increase your interest and try to provoke you so that you do that mistake immediately. Once that mistake is done immediately or negligently or whenever or however, right, you have been compromised. And finally, the main thing what happens in India, you must update your XYZ account information, right? you have not sent your PAN card, you have not submitted your Aadhaar card, as per some legal laws and this, your account will get disabled. You need to submit this at so and so location, your Aadhaar card and PAN card. Once you send these details, you have been compromised. Okay, so these are the top phishing examples which will definitely you will face in your life. Kindly avoid replying to them. Kindly even avoid opening them. If it is required, please open it on a laptop wherein or on a desktop wherein you have a bigger screen size. You can go to the header and find it. On the phone, it is little difficult to find on the header, right? So please consider these steps also. Right now, what happened yesterday, right, which everyone in the world now knows, there is a massive phishing attack by the name malicious attacks. It will start from today. All right, government has come up with various multi schemes, right? If you are affected by this, you go here, this fees is maaf, right? This is not applicable to you. All these, and all these updates will start coming from an email ID known as mcov2019.gov. This has been updated as a phishing actor, which has been verified and certain, right? That is the Indian Computer Emergency Response Team of India, right? Has said there will be a suspicious email from this. You can write it down and please block that immediately on your phone, or create a rule in your Microsoft Outlook or wherever you want, so that that mail also does not come to you. Okay, right? Reference I have just given, it is from the NDTV. You can write, if someone is interested, I'll share that link. Okay, now let us see how can you protect this. Right now I have scared you, right? Okay, now you are asking me how will I get protected, right? So I'll just give you some very basic steps which will ensure that at least 85 to 90% you are safe and secure. Rest 10% I'll leave it to your judgment. Right? Configure your email ID to have a strong and complex password. Wherever possible, use two-factor. Okay, what happens if you're sent a mail on your behalf? Many times you will say that Porus has sent a mail to Porus Mehta. That is a spoofed email, right? If something happens like that, you are getting compromised, an OTP or a second two-factor will immediately get triggered. Once the second two-factor gets triggered, that hacker cannot do, and he will delete that ID silently, because I have got an intimation that, okay, this email ID has been accessed from XYZ part of the world. That much response, Google will send it to you and you will be safe from getting exploited. Wherever possible, please enable two-factor. Google by default has enabled two-factor authentication for even its normal login feature, right? You just go to gmail.com, mail.yahoo.com, all of them, all these big mail vendors have enabled two-factor authentication. If you see, that same thing has been enforced by offices now when people are working from home. Your password is very confidential, right? Do not reveal your password, right? If you are having a slightest doubt that someone has seen you typing a password, or if you see that someone knows your password, or if you've spoken out that password by mistake, please change the password immediately, right? Any unknown sender, right? Avoid clicking the links, right? Open up the mail. If you are fishy, open up the mail on the laptop or on a desktop. That will minimize some amount of threat. A laptop antivirus or a desktop antivirus is much more powerful in comparison to the one which is installed on your phone. Cyber cafe, the main root cause, right? Many of the cyber cafe owners always have enabled all their browsers to save the password. Whenever you are logging out, right, ensure that you clear the cache of the browser. He will decline that, right? Okay, you cannot do that and all that. You have to say, I will take legal action. I want to clear the cache because that cache has your details on that. If he is very adamant and all that, go to your friend or go to someone whom you and change your password. So even if that internet cafe guy tries to do something, he has your old password. Same can be with your friends. A friend will always, it is my own machine. So I have by default enabled that whoever logs in my machine, his password will, I mean, whoever, means whenever I log in, my password will be saved. Same goes to you also. When you have logged into my machine or your friend's machine, that feature which is there is not going to be explicitly saying that, okay, no, you are a friend, so I'm not going to save a password. I will save that password also, right? So many times, please log out. Even if it's a friend's machine, please log out. Worst, try to avoid cyber cafe and your friends. Worst is your cyber cafe. Try to avoid, unless it is bare minimum, please go in for that. Okay. We would next see the malicious files, right? What is malicious file? Malware is a small software which is designed with great thinking to disrupt and damage and to gain access. I am not here to create and do something one shot. I am going to retain that access. That is the purpose of malware. All right, a virus will stop your system on the spot. Malware will try to say that, okay, I'm granting him access. Typically, malwares happen in companies. All right, once I compromise one machine in a company, I will start replicate, means my malware automatically starts replicating throughout the network and then finally to the server. And that server will, once he is exploited, the hacker has got full access to the entire company network. Okay, so that is the EA of malware. Malwares have been now refined, known as ransomwares. All right, many big companies have fallen prey to that. Life goes standstill. Just like in COVID, you have been standstill for last 3 to 4 months, right? A malware will stop the company functioning ever until you don't pay them, or even there is no guarantee after payment that thing will remove the access. Okay, malware typically exploits a bug or a vulnerability in your operating system or in your design. Right, I have hardened my operating system, but my application, right, which I have designed has bugs. I will exploit that application. I am not here to find out who's the strongest. I am here to find out who is the weakest, be it application, be it people, be it technology, be it operating system, be it anyone, right? There are facts that even an antivirus also is not actually an antivirus. It was supposed to be a virus. I will not name it on this forum, but there is a fact on that. Okay, malware is the most common attack to gain access by sending an infected file. How will I send an infected file? Right, I will use the phishing attack or that email compromise. Okay, so that is why we saw if email is been addressed right on the scratch, I will ensure that nothing comes back further. Okay, how does it work? Very simple. I will always like to share a file known as Word file or an Excel file, right? These files have an attachment, right, which is known as a Word file, right, or a macro file, right? In that file attached, I will send the virus, right? Steganography, right, is a higher version of that, wherein inside the picture, I have a virus. You are very happy to continuously see that picture, but at the back end, that virus has started and he is actually deleting or compromising your entire security of that device. Okay, so these are the malware attacks. You need to be very particular when you open a Word file or when you open a file which can be appended, right? A Word file. That is why people prefer to have PDF files. It is little, I don't say PDF is not, you cannot share a virus with a PDF, but it is little difficult and you will have a smaller range of people who will have the technology to affect you using a PDF. Okay, right? Best, where do you have the virus files which come from is when they lure you into, you have won a lottery, right? Bank credit has been reversed, right? You will try to see, what did I buy, right? For this, I've got this credit reverse. You click that and you are compromised. Okay, so how do you actually get affected? Very simple. The malware gets installed on your computer once you open that application or once you open that file, right? The malware is pre-programmed and is designed, right, to send out your informations to the cyber criminal. He will not do anything, right? He will just read your cookies, all your cookies which have been stored. Say like you use Yahoo for anything, right? Your banking passwords and anything and everything, right? Worse, now people have started putting the details in Google Keep. Google Keep logs in using what ID? Your simple Gmail ID. If your Gmail ID has been cached in your browser's cache, I have access to anything and everything of your Gmail. Okay, be it Google Keep, be it Google Photos, anything and everything have been compromised. Okay, so try to, as I said, right, the hacker is not going to target you, right, in front to front, right, or on the strongest. He is trying to extract anything from your weakest link. You're right. Malware and virus have a good efficiency in multiplying, right? They don't need any supervision, or they self propagate into different machines. So if in your machine in your office, right, one of your desktop or your server or your laptop has a malware, right, within few seconds or within few hours the entire office is full of virus. Okay, so that's where the damage of malwares. Prevention of malware is the key thing now. Okay, cyber criminals will now gain access to your safe passwords and all your banking details which you are cached in your Google, or banking details you say I have given explicitly, do not save in Google, right? I'm using a Google, but I don't save my username password, but I am using Google Keep, right, wherein I have sent all that this is my login ID, this is my password. But Google Keep uses, as I said, the same ID and same password for your Google account. Google account is already compromised from your cookie, which is there in the Google. You thereby lose all your details. How will you safeguard? Right? There is a common thing like Microsoft Windows 10, right? Right, has antivirus inbuilt. Why should I pay an additional 2000 rupees or a 1000 rupees to safeguard further? It will create an overhead for me, but trust me, it is always advisable to install a commercially available antivirus software along with Windows antivirus. Okay, please install antivirus softwares. As of now, crime rate is going to increase drastically, right? As far as I said, try not to use any freewares, because free softwares do not clean. You have no trust on that free software. Please pay up. There is now a subscription package also which is available, which will actually help you when a virus attack happens, right? Main concerns is your USB drives and your CD-ROM drives. Okay, friend means there is a marriage which happened. Are who will see so much? Just give me your data on your USB. Okay, I have a USB of an MP4 which was of that function or whatever it is, that marriage function, birthday or whatever. But on that virus, the person's machine was infected. As I said, malware replicates automatically. This malware has already come on your USB drive. This USB drive, when you insert it in your machine, or then that machine or that USB gets inserted in n number of machines, that virus will propagate to the attached machine, right? It is same as corona, how we have said, right? It goes through air. Similarly, this thing does not require any medium. You have already a medium, which is your USB, right? And your thumbnail or your external drive or your CD-ROMs. Remember, some people say why CD-ROM, right? If the machine is infected, the virus will also get written on the CD-ROM. Okay. Third parties, remember, anything that is free on this planet Earth is only a malware. Today, no one is going to give you anything free of cost. There is no free lunch as of now, right? So if there is anyone who says, go to this site, go to the torrent, it is good, right? I have done it. I have seen this. My friend uses it. Nothing, right? You use your common sense, right? You don't rely on the power of your antivirus. No, let me see, I have an antivirus. Might be that antivirus is not working because there is some funda known as zero-day attack, right? Generally, malwares are zero-day attacks. When these attacks happen, right, you will be moving much faster. Means the virus propagation will move much faster, right? Enable firewalls. Windows Defender by default is also a good firewall. If you want, please install a third-party firewall. Generally, firewall and antivirus come in a set. Now, even they are putting anti-malware solutions also, right? Some of the industry companies have started that. So try to do that. And if wherever possible, please do not disable firewalls or antivirus saying that I require power right now. Remember, antivirus software had prevented that virus. He might have not cleaned that virus because he does not know how to clean that, but he will ensure that that virus does not propagate. No sooner you disable the antivirus, the virus immediately propagates to the remaining part of the machine. The antivirus becomes useless. That is why if you have a machine and if you don't want that, please either upgrade the machine or be very particular to download a file. Okay. Now we come to the most deadliest attack which can ever happen, social engineering. Okay, what is actually social engineering? It is an attack vector that heavily depends on human interaction and often manipulating the people to break some security norms and practices so that I can gain access, right? Typically in a company, what happens is, okay, chal theek hai, you come with me, don't swipe tailgating, right? No, right? Or okay, what virus do you use? Sorry, what antivirus solution do you use? Arey, do you put so much power? Yeah, but can you let me know what is your means logic of creating a password which you would ask your employee? I am trying to understand what type of passwords he has thought of in his mind, right? This is known as a social engineering attack. Remember, it is the most deadliest and it uses human feelings, right, to gain access, right? It is only the only key thing is sweet talker. They are the most, what you call, people whom you have to stay away from. Okay, it will use any and every emotional aspect of a human decision to execute an attack. He might, if you say, like if you say in pictures also, if you say, right, okay, I have what kidnapped your daughter, please do this task, right? So all these are social engineering attacks. Okay, I will try to use your emotional aspect to do and make you do something wrong. Okay, social engineering attacks generally are targeted, right, into tricking you to do the same thing what you were not able to do from email spoofing, right? I will try to send you, right, I will try to invoke something urgency, right? Very simple. I want some information. I will call up your daughter and say your father has met with an accident, right? He is not able to share, but there is a problem. I have got his debit card, but I don't know the pin. Can you share me the pin? Right? Debit card, father is at office, no, nothing has happened to him. Debit card somewhere has been stolen, he has got that access, or somehow he has got that access. You have revealed the OTP. So generally a wife will reveal the OTP, or sorry, reveal the password or the pin. That gentleman does the transaction and it goes away. That was a emotional social engineering attack, because at the end, back end of the wife, she was thinking what would happen to my husband, right? She says that, okay, you please use this, give him the down payment so that the operation starts, whatever starts, right? She will receive an information also that so much amount has been deducted from the bank. But what is here at the back of her mind? Yes, I have only given that and it is for the bank who has taken that. Sorry, it is the hospital who has taken that. Okay. So again, luring you, bank credit card blocked, all these stuff, please be aware of, right? Concerns, right? Very simple. Social engineering is loss accompanied by tricking a person to do a fund transfer by a fraudster. Very simple definition of that. Okay. Hackers have better ways and much better thinking than us, right, to fool an individual, right? So right now also there are some, if you say, we have heard of some instances, right, of even on the Zoom call or on a WebEx call or in this, right, what students are doing, they are making a small clip and using that as a background, that they are there but they are not actually there. They will move little here and there, so the school teacher will think, okay, he is there, she is there. So these are the types of people who are been social engineered, that okay, you do like this, who's going, the child did not have that idea but someone has given that idea. So please be aware of such people, right? They are very sweet talkers and they are very good influencers. Okay, social engineering, phishing attacks, spear phishing, right, baiting, all these are type of social engineering attacks which have very good what do you call, I wouldn't say, not say opportunity, but these are very good things which are being used by a hacker to do something bad for people. Malwares, as we say, malwares have been, like virus has been upgraded to a malware, malware has been upgraded to a ransomware. As technology is increasing, right, it creates more trouble for people like who are not tech savvy, or who say that okay, we are not aware, right? Other samples are pretexting. As I give you an example, tailgating, right? You come into my building, right? You come with me. Okay, I'll tell the watchman, no, no, wo card bhul gaya, means he's forgotten the card. You please come with me, right? So all these type of Wishing is now a new type of attack in which urgent voicemails convince the victims that they need to act or protect them from any arrest or something other risk, that, as I said, right? Your father has been, say, your husband has been hospitalized. He had met with an accident. He is at so and so hospital. Give me the credit card pin or give me the debit card pin. These are type of this. So they will, when they are talking, they will show that empathy that okay, boss, there is some urgency. I am not just speaking for the sake of speaking, but I will have the tone, voice, pitch, whatever you call it, and I will influence you. This is the new one. This is coming generally from the help desk and call centers, right? Which type of attacks which happen. Water holing, it's an advanced social engineering that infects both the website and the visitor with the malware. I send you somewhere, that website is just self-compromising, and he will compromise and he will take away the information. I have nothing to do with that. My job is to send you there. Okay, then I will use whatever I have obtained the information from you, what is your email ID, right? Then I will start using my other ideas. How do I send you there? Through an SMS, through an email, through a phone call, or whatever way. So how do you protect yourself, right? You limit whatever information that you want to share on the public and social media, right? It is your life. Why do you want the entire world to know, right? If you want to a world to know, you can call them, right? Generally a close relative will be more interested where you go. You don't want that the hacker to know where you were, how you were, right? Where you went, with whom you went, right? He gets all these inquisitive ideas and it will play on you, right? Always be skeptical, right? Whenever you are adding any person to your group, be skeptical, right? Or if you are any of your family member, all of a sudden he is asking you, "Arey, what is your bank account? Arey, tera kaun sa bank? I mean, which bank you have an account? Generally, which type of branch is good, bad, and why you have not kept that?" So he is indirectly trying to find out which account and which bank you are, right? So try to avoid that, especially your friends. Trust but verify, right? Be it your very close relative. I have said that, okay, my bank account is with XYZ bank at so and so location, right? After some time, I will try to verify why he has done it. I might have some friends who will try to find out, or I will be inquisitive why he has asked me for my personal identification, right? Right? Never reveal any passwords over the phone. Remember, OTP, right? The worst thing, or over the phone, right? Best example is, right? I have to send some money, right? My child is not there. So you call up your child, right? Please let me know the password so that I can log in for you. That password might be a thing that, first of all, the mom might not be a mom, right? The password would land up in someone. If someone is tapping your phone, that password is leaked. Never share any passwords on the phone. There could be people who are overhearing rather than tapping, overhearing, right? Most of this happens in trains, right? You are in a train, you will shout. You are shouting at the password to your mom, but there are 1,000 people in the train who are now knowing your password. So remember, it is double-edged sword. Okay, let us see our basic social networking safeguards, right? What is social networking? If you see in this image also, there is a girl who has a cover, right? She's not actually that same one, right? So what happens is she is actually extracting the data. She has somehow managed to join your Facebook or your Twitter or your Instagram or your Snapchat or any of your so what do you call social networking softwares, right? Now she will pretext and say that, okay, please share me this, that, and all that. You will find good, right? Based upon that, your friends will all, she will send out a request to your friends. Your friend will say, okay, Mr. ABC knows this lady or this person, let me add. All right, that she's now got added to two of your teams. So she has now the address book of two people, the friend list of two people. She will then add to the third. She will then add to the, she or he, whatever, will add to the fourth, fifth, and all that. And she has now compromised your entire social networking. Whoever he or she finds the victim, she will start, he or she will start exploiting. Okay. Right? Cyber criminals will use social networking to create a near replica threat of anyone. I will use your photo to create a fake ID, right? Trust me, right? I don't need to even have now to understand how any softwares will work, right? I will go to your site, a simple snipping tool with a square. I will take it and put it on a Facebook site, and then I will create a fake ID, right? Once I compromise any one of your friend, I have compromised all your friends and the entire chain below. How does it work? As I said, right? He or she, a cyber criminal, will create a fake account on the social media, and he will use to share negative things and inappropriate to create a harm, right? He will try to create some inquisitiveness, right? Once he starts creating inquisitiveness, you will go to his site, you will start talking, chatting, or you might even respond, right? So all these things, he will start taking the data, and he will try to, he or she will, the cyber criminal will try to extract information. He will take data and he'll try to make it into information. Information is something which is meaningful, and it is of some meaning which can create harm to you and create value to him or her. Okay. Right? Online frauds can be triggered through links, especially on the social networking sites. Please refer, I have gone to this, I have done here. Can you please click on this link? Right, I have a new recipe of so and so food. Right, typically nowadays in last 2-3 days, every last 2-3 months, everyone are now into cooking. Okay, so a cyber criminal will create a fake URL, right? That okay, go to this site. On that site, you want to become a small member. We make memberships at only 25 rupees. You say, okay, 25 rupees, I'm getting so bigger recipes and anything and everything, because there'll be many free things, right? And then somebody will stop that, okay, now you pay me. Okay, take 25 rupees, but you have been compromised. Okay. And secondly, these are the types of people, these cyber criminals are not small people. They are actually people who are cyberbullying, right? They are cyber bulliers on your social media platform, right? They will always send some rude or hurtful message to motivate you in terms of responding. They will hurt your feelings. So you will say, Acha, means you said this, okay, this is my reply. They will start a conversation. Once you start a conversation, what happens is Facebook or anything, they'll assume that you are friends. They don't know that you are fighting. So then he will create that link, right? Then he will say so and so person has now become a friend of your so and so friend, and Facebook himself will create trouble for you by giving those links, or any social media will create that. Okay. So very simple. Consider the fact: is it worth showing off your vacation images on your socials or any social to create a trouble for yourself? Is it worth that effort? Right. One, you have effort is to upload them. Right. One is the effort, which is a bigger effort to restrain people, because you have shared the data. The data once shared is gone. Okay. Best example, any account, as I already said, use two factors. Wherever possible, use a two factor for anything and everything. Guard your phones, never keep them unattended, right? If you have phones, right, there are even now application softwares which, even if you have opened up your phone using your face or something, applications will start asking you for your passwords. So enable all these features. Try to optimize security at the fullest extent, especially on your mobile phones. Restrict your contents, right? You have gone to a foreign trip, good, you send it to your friends over the email or say something like that. I have bought a costly bike, I have got a costly car, right? I have got this new year. You are now inviting cyber criminals to directly target you, right? Right, best example is, right, you go to a marriage, you have a very heavy necklace, right? You are unknowingly say, okay, I'd gone for this party and this, but what is the mindset of the hacker or this person? right? Cybercriminal, he is seeing your necklace, which is there, right? Once he understands this is your necklace, he assumes that you are rich, you become a target, right? Change your privacy settings, right? On the social media, limit your post, limit your friends, change your privacy setting. Only so and so people can see, only this can see, right? Don't let the entire world know. Okay, avoid unnecessary friend requests. You don't know that person, okay, he or she might be a friend of someone, you don't know him or her, don't add. Think before you post, especially numbers, phone numbers, date of birth. Remember, phone number is also a PII, personally identifiable information now as per the new classification. Date of birth was always there. Accessing from your mobile phones. Try to limit accessing from your mobile phones as far as possible. Just see the Facebooks. If you're uploading, please use a laptop or a desktop to upload. You will have more controls. Remember the password pop-up. You must never allow any computer to remember the password, right? Be it your own computer. Whenever you have logged into the Facebook, I'm very sure most of the people have kept that, okay, once I click Facebook on Google, I am in. That is why, because your password has been cached. Please try to avoid that. There is no harm in learning 3 or 4 or 5 or more complex passwords, right? And always try to disable a feature known as auto signing, right? Use the other feature known as sign off, right? Once your work is done, sign off from that application. LinkedIn connected, sign off from LinkedIn. Be it your own machine also, try to inculcate that practice. Okay. We will now see some parts like cyberbullying, right? Which is the key concerns now. Okay. Cyberbullying is basically what I am being rude, right? As in most of the schools you had, right? Gundas and all of them, strong people, tough people, right? Humiliating this. Now, cyberbullying, I will use only technology as a medium, but I will do the same thing. I will hurt you. I will comment you. I will send your wrong images, wrong videos, right? So all that is. I will bully you using simple text messages also on emails or on social media. I might even go ahead and put you on web pages like Facebooks and all that, or on other chat rooms, and I'll bully you. I will ensure that, okay, you feel humiliated and you feel that pain. I don't know what I'm going to achieve by that, why I'm saying what these people achieve by that, but these are the type of people from which you have to refrain, right? Typically, elderly do not face this issue. It is commonly a child who faces this, because a child is innocent. He or she does not know. He or she will take it to heart, right? As years pass, the hard world must have shown you that, okay, theek hai, there is nothing like this, that you have to be little rude, you have to be her, yeah. So a child has not seen all this. So cyberbullying generally happens on child. Okay, children are the easiest victims of cyberbullying. How it works is simple. I will create a fake account, right? And I will start putting wrong images about you in, and then I will even have the audacity to call you up and say that, blackmail you, that do you want your parent to know this? Do you want to know that the outside world to know about this, right? And then I will start using the words blackmailing. Blackmailing is not for money. Remember, cyberbullying, people have stopped using them for money, because no sooner I have to pay someone, the cops will catch me. But I will ask you for some other favors, right? And even go ahead with drug peddling. Okay, so this is what is cyberbullying, right? Now, gone are the days that, okay, you have to pay cash. There are other ways which cyberbullies extract money, right? The key intention of cyberbullying is to have a scenario of blackmailing to make you do something wrong. Okay, cyberbullying is very common on social media. They use social media to hurt and send rude and hurtful meaning to dismean you or hurt you or completely ruin you, right? It cannot only impact your academic performance, but to a great extent will even affect your mental ability or your mental stability. That is the big concern of cyberbullying, right? Remember, cyberbully can be anyone, your friend, relative, or an unknown person whom we meet online. He could be your adjacent neighbor also. He could be one of your best friends whom with you were friend for since last 20 years, 30 years, or even whatever, right? You cannot trust anyone, right? Remember the fund, never trust anyone in this world, especially online. Okay, examples again, be very particular whom you are adding, because once you add him, he has got access and then he will misuse that access. Remember what you share. Never share any personal information. Never try to share on your photos, right? Try not to, because there are many people who have that habit, taking all those photos on your front camera, back cameras and all that, right? So try to avoid all this, because all these things get uploaded, right? Google has a bad habit to upload all your photos to the Google Drive, right? Similarly, Apple phones, they backup these phones, right? They backup these contents onto their backup media storage, right? So tomorrow when you have taken this, they can be misused. Software is an app. Remember, if you have downloaded any software or any app, trust me, you have already had a trouble which you have which you will have to face, right? People means you can buy, I'm not saying that all the softwares are like that, but remember, whenever you are buying a software on an app, right, please be sure from where you are buying. Google Play Store is not 100% secure, but at least it is little relatively secure than any other app site, any online gaming site, or any another unknown source. Try not to download an APK file, right? If the APK file, or say on Android an APK file comes from Google, is fine, but not from any of the websites which are there, right? Very simple thing, no aggressive reply. He has hurt you, no worries, right? Don't repost anything. He wants you to repost so that he can strike a conversation and he can have more details about you, because when you get angry, you are going to speak out something which should not have been spoken, and which is very good information or food for that cyber criminal. Okay, what you have to do, immediately inform your parents and elders, right? Parents and elders also, please keep monitoring your child in terms of their behavior, right? If he automatically stops refraining from doing something, there could be something wrong. That also you start envisaging as parents and elders, right? Identify the bully. Try to identify the bully, right? If you can find out he's from the school or this, reach out to that bully through a parent or a teacher. Don't go directly to the bully. Block the bully. He is trying to do something, block him on the social media, and never respond to the bully, because what you respond is, how are you going to respond? You are going to type it. Once you type it, you have shared that whatever is information, which he will now use that against you. He will remove the first part and he will use it, because whenever you get bully, your first set is that Arya daddy means parents will come to know, delete it. No, that is the worst thing. Now a parent or a police even does not know what conversation happened and why you responded like that. What you say has no meaning. What you show in writing has a meaning. Remember. Okay. Very simple. It is illegal and unethical to threaten anyone online. Even if you send them office messages, call them by vulgar names, right? And in terms of he's fat, thin, that, all that, that also can create trouble to you as per the recent IT Act, right? If your parents and elders feel the need, they can contact the local police or lodge a complaint against the bully, right? So as a student or as a parent or as anyone, please keep this, because this cannot be separate for a, it can, there is no rule that, okay, this will happen only to a child, this will happen to an elderly, right? It can happen to anyone. If it happens to a child, let the child go to the elderly person or the parent. If it happens to the parent who is not tech savvy, let him or her take the help from a child. A child means a person who is very thorough with that. Okay. Remember, as good netizens, never share any harmful or hateful, embarrassing images also. Be careful to check what you post and from what. Do not post any embarrassing comments or videos. Remember, bottom line. And finally, you yourself don't become a cyber bully. Okay, ठीक है, you tried to do it to my child, now you see मैं तेरा बाप हूँ. No, don't do all that nonsense, right? You don't become a cyber bully. He will remove that remaining part of your child and he will put a case against you that you have bullied him. So be very particular, have a cool mind when you're responding to this. Okay, we come to another very interesting chapter that is known as the cyber grooming, right? Cyber grooming is generally happens to only a kid, right? It generally creates a social bond. So what happens might sometimes what happens, the parent is too very strict or very thing, or he blocks anything and everything, or that person is child is very interested, or he is very psycho in terms of knowing new things and all that. He gets exposed to many other people. These people, right, create an emotional bond with that child, and then the same thing happens, cyberbullying, right? No other thing. Again, the same cyber grooming and cyberbullying is almost the same, but cyberbullying can happen to anyone. Cyber grooming generally happens to an old child, right? Similarly, it could happen to single parents, right? You never know whom you are chatting with, right? I will try to create a bond. I will try to gain some information, right? Once I've got my information, I cut you off. I do all that hacking, whatever I want to do. Story ends there. So remember this, cyber grooming is now picking up because people are now very idle in life, right? Target is teenagers, especially in the adolescence age, right? How it works, create a fake ID, right? I will send you some compliment. Are you look so beautiful on this. So I will try to say some good things about you. I might say that, okay, I'm sending you a gift, right? I might say that, okay, I have an offer for you, that there is modeling and this and that. And can you send me some of your photos? Because in modeling and media industry, generally these industries require good amount of obscene images and all that, right? Once a child has shared that, he or she becomes a victim of that, of cyber grooming. Then he will start doing the same rubbish stuff, blackmailing you, ask you to do any other wrong things, and finally he will do anything and everything which will disgrace you. Okay, cyber grooming concerns, again, it has will have a very deep impact on the child's physical and emotional and psychological well-being. Remember, cyber grooming, if it affects, child might have to undergo treatments also, right? Because he is too young to understand all this, he or she is too young to understand all this, and he or she might have never thought of this or envisaged this. Okay, it can even affect their academic performance. It will definitely affect the academic performance, but it will go ahead and affect the daily routine also. It will have a very devastating terms, which could be a long-term issue also. So remember that as a parent, please have an eye on what is happening on your child. If you find any vague or some notorious or some different behavior from a child, immediately think something is there and try to have a word with them, right? Again, as I said, groomer can be anyone, right? He can be your neighbor, friend, relative, whoever it is, right? Solutions are exactly the same. Do not accept any request. Do create as many less number of friends as possible. Remember, not what you share. Be cautious when you have been complimented. Try to understand why is he complimenting you, right? Today, anyone and everyone have a problem in complimenting one another. World is there to pull anyone and everyone down. Why is this gentleman or lady or whoever it is, the cyber criminal, trying to do something good to you, right? He can be genuinely doing a good thing to you, but try to think about it and then you take a call, right? If you find some unavoidable, uncomfortable people, avoid them, right? If you find he or she is trying to bully you or ask you to do something wrong or something, immediately a child should be taught to talk to the parents and vice versa. If the parent does not understand, they can take help of a child. A child means I'm assuming 18 plus years who understands all this stuff and okay, inform parents and elders. This goes for your child, vice versa. Remember, as I said, please do not delete that. All right. Collect and save all the messages which you and your groomer have transferred between the internet, right? So that it will help you to take any legal actions in future. So the cops will say, okay, but if there is no proof, how will you even justify what has happened? So please collect them, right? Do not delete them. There is no harm. You can, if there is memory full and all that, right, take it and dump it in your hard disk. Take someone's help, right? No worries, right? Block the groomer, as which is always there. And remember, as in cyberbullying, never respond to the groomer. Do not talk to people, right? The key thing today, which you have to teach to your children, do not talk or share your information, right? You have to imbibe this in your child. If anyone is asking you for your sexually explicit photos, please inform me as a parent. Please ensure that, teach them that what will happen tomorrow, right? They will blackmail you, they will ask you to do something wrong, right? And ensure that they never meet that person again. If they have to meet that person, go with a cop, go with an elder, right? You have to have that much, you have to build that much faith and trust in your child. Remember, cyber grooming is a target only to a person who is of a age much younger age. Okay, online gaming, I hope anyone and everyone are playing online games, right? Online gaming consoles and portals are increasing. Play games, no worries, but this is the best source to get cyber cheats, cyber bullying, bulliers on this, right? They will immediately start giving you, right? Okay, let's play this, let's play that, and they will start building the rapport, right? Once they have built a rapport, they can do anything which is there, right? Children, again, being the easiest victims, parents and elders, please listen to, please have a look at what children are playing, how much they are playing, what time of the day they are playing. All this will factor. All right. This actually is known as a curse with information technology, the game. All right. What happens in a game, right? Just as you can see me, I can also see you. Right. In these things, what is happening? The child is innocent, right? They are playing the games, but many times the camera will move. You are here moving here and there. You are shaking, right? Some obscene parts can be viewed. Right. So please ensure wherever there is a webcam or there is an online which is camera which is capturing, right, you have to be also very particular. At the same time, imbibe the same things in your children, right? At any age, we love to play games, but wherever the camera is getting invoked, please do be particular. Whenever camera gets invoked on a mobile phone, you will not know. At least on a laptop, there is a yellow or a green or orange light which comes up very close to the camera, right? So please be aware. If a game has a wrong malicious code, they will switch on the camera. Okay, and this has not happened. This has happened with big products also. Okay, never turn on your camera when your chat partner does not connect on webcam. At the end, no, you don't know. He might be recording. He might not be using the laptop to record. He might be having a camera which is put behind, and then the recording is happen. Okay, so please be very particular whenever you are doing anything with a webcam. How it works? Very simple. There are two ways. You keep playing, right? He pretends that I'm a child. Okay, he will even give you good amount of tips, right? So that you start winning, and he will try to create a rapport. He will try to have a personal information, and he will try to extract personal information by motivating you amongst the entire team members. Yeah. Um, how does it work? Am I audible?
Yes, please.
Yeah,
Please
yeah.
go ahead.
Oh,
Please
yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Many adults and cyber criminals like to play online. So remember that, right? Every online game will definitely have an embedded virus or a rogue code, which will steal your virus information if it is played from a wrong location. Remember, that is now added to your concern. Already your webcam, which was an issue, already there are hackers who are there on the other side, right? You are playing a game with 1 crore or billions of people, unknown people, rather, I would say unknown billions of people, right? Who can see you as you are, right? So please be sure, right? What is an online game? Right? You can play online games. I'm not saying you not play online games, but buy it officially from a legitimate source, right? Right? In many online games, you are asked to buy points and coins to improve the performance, or you gain advantage, or they give you resources, right? What happens typically is you will be asked to share your credit card information, right? A child might go to parent will say no. What does a child say? No, I want to play a game. I will start stealing. This is the mindset which he has started building. A parent says, okay, I will buy you. Parent puts in his credit card. Credit card details get misused. So think about it when you are buying even something or remember how to do it. Okay. Debit credit card details are then sold or misused later, as a hacker always wants it. So how will you do? What will you do? Very simple, right? Never share your credit card details. Especially advise a child never to share his parents' credit card details. Right? A child, because see, a card might be in his wallet or anywhere, it will be in a purse or anywhere it could be, but ensure that the child does not do this, especially when he is playing online games, because it will be misused. Right, limit your exposure, right? Instead of playing online games spoiling your eyes, go down and play, not now but after this corona gets over, right? So try to have that habit of playing outdoor and have recreational games, right? So all this will help you to even build your body, right? Ensure that less amount of attacks can happen to you, right? Remember, in the world, bottom line, nothing is free, right? If I click something, virus is definitely going to come, right? Never use voice chat or webcam when playing online games. This may share your identity with others whom you are not knowing. They tomorrow will become cyber bullies and create trouble for you. Okay, very simple thing. A parent or a elderly would say, I require OTP, right? My card cannot be misused. I don't require a OTP, right? If I have to do any transaction, right, on the foreign site, if I'm doing anything on the US, UK, or in fact any site apart from India, I don't require a OTP. Your username, password, and not your, sorry, your card number and your CVV are more than sufficient. Okay, it is very important to download games from reputed sites. Please do not use pirated. Apologies for the spelling mistake. Please do not use pirated games. They already have viruses inbuilt. Okay, key things that now a thing is online transactional frauds. How does this actually happen, right? Well, right, it generally happens because of your negligence. I would not say that it is an issue on the bank side generally, and you would say 90 to 95% all the online transaction frauds happen because of your negligence, right? A cyber criminal has asked you some details, you have revealed that details. Cyber criminals uses social engineering attacks, he ask you an OTP, you have revealed the details. So wherein you are 95% of the mistake, where you own 95% of the mistake. So please be particular for online transactions. Generally there is a misconception that it always happens, but it is happening because of you. Remember, right? As a smart citizen, you must understand how you should online do a transaction online. If you're not doing, no worries. If you have to do, please take help from someone, right? Ensure you take help from a friend or a relative, and that too, please do not share all the relevant confidential information, right? As I said, cyber criminals, right? Social engineering attack, or will send you an email from a fake that your account has expired. He will ask you for blah, blah, blah. Remember what he is going to ask you. Bank account details. No bank will ask you for bank account details. Worst, they might ask you, please give me the last two digits of your bank account details, right? Even if you see your statements which come from the banks, they mask the, what do you call, the account number, right? They put passwords so that you cannot, if that is gone to a wrong person, they cannot open the account, right? Card details, no one will ask you the card details, right? Card verification number or your CVV number, key thing, CVV number on the card can never be changed. You have to dispose the card. And the worst part is if you tell the help desk that I have lost the card, it is fine. But if you say my card has gone faulty, please issue me a new card, he will give you a new card with the same CVV number. So think when you're giving it to the help desk, tell the help desk that I think I have been compromised. Please send me a new card with a new CVV number, right? Expiry date. Creation date is never required. Expiry date are the details which a person requires to do an online transaction. Once you have shared this, your account is compromised, right? A fake site will always have codes to copy these credentials and send them parallel to the hacker. Okay. Again, how it works, I call you, you share me the details, you have been compromised, as I already explained. Right? Payments outside India never ask for OTP. I'm again repeating that. Keep it in your mind. If my card is being compromised, I will do all the transaction outside the Indian continent, inside in region, right? Other issue that is nowadays you find out that misuse of a SIM, right? SIM card, what does it do, right? It has all the information to create that. So when you have enabled internet banking or phone banking, to be more precise, when I insert a new SIM, I go to that banking site, he immediately understands this, he sends an OTP. Now since that SIM is the same number, OTP comes to me, the SIM starts and the application starts. Nowadays there is a level of security which has been put in, wherein the bank will ask you for some details of your debit card or some details of your login name and password or something like that. Initially it was not there. So if that SIM card fraud happens, that hacker could immediately use your online banking, sorry, your net banking password to compromise your system, or to be more exact, mobile banking password. Okay, so this is the same that I explained you. All right. What you have to remember as good citizens is never share at least these numbers. At least these things do not share with anyone. Your online account password, right? Never is asked, right? People say, sir, you have put a password which is 6 characters. Our thing requires 8 characters and complex. I think you are doing this mistake. You will come out and at a burst and say, "Arey, what rubbish you're talking? This is my password. See, it is complex, this, that." You have revealed your password. That is what that person at that other side is asking you to do, and you are doing it, right? So please safeguard from this. Card number, right? Card number also, it's a 16-digit unique number. It is for you. Keep it with you. CVV, if it compromises, you have been compromised thoroughly. Expiry date, right? Let it know it not happen. PIN and OTP. PIN also is required, right, for doing some transactions. So if the PIN also is compromised, he will do transaction sitting in India, right? Right. Banking URLs, try to have a habit of going to the bank rather than clicking on URLs of bank. I will prefer to go to icicibank.com, take that pressure trouble to go type that much, go to the banking, select login. From the drop down login, I will say personal, corporate, this, that, whatever it is, and then do my transaction. Rather than creating a link, please do not, because as I said, the link could be a spoofed link, right? Anytime if you go to a bank or you're doing any sort of transaction, remember there is a word known as HTTPS. This is hypertext transfer protocol, is a way of communication, and S stands for secured way of communication. Please ensure that you use HTTPS only. Even if you are not sharing with anyone and you are doing a legitimate transaction, if HTTPS is not seen on your screen, please do not enter any of your credit card, debit card data, right? Again, voice chat or webcam when you're doing it, please be particular. They can record also. These softwares have an ability to record keyboard transactions also, keypad transactions also. So please be particular. And if a child is being done or as a parent has been done, inform the parents or inform the child, vice versa, as you think. Okay. You receive a call from a customer stating that something wrong has happened, right? Don't blah, blah, blah and speak it out. Say, okay, sir, I will call you back. Drop the call, again connect the call to your customer, wait for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. It is worth waiting the time rather than revealing all your secret details. Never use pirated softwares. Pirated softwares will always have a code to do and monitor your online transactions. He is there to calculate, just what you call collect the details of your card number, CVV, OTP, so he is not interested because OTP will be changing, and your CVV number and your last expiry date. You have done a genuine legitimate transaction. But since you have used a pirated software, the illegal code which has been put by that hacker has actually compromised your system and passed on this confidential information to the hacker, which will be misused in future, which will definitely be misused in future. Cyber cafe, right? And weak Wi-Fi's, never work on that. At least never do any online transactions on cyber cafe on a weak Wi-Fi, right? Nowadays there are Wi-Fi's which are available, but every software or every Android phone, I'm not sure about Apple, but every Android phone will say Wi-Fi detected, right? But it is an open Wi-Fi, right? No sooner you have the word open Wi-Fi, do not do any transaction. Worse, you can do whatever is your part. Again, don't do any mail checking, because that password will be sent, though you are not typing the password will be sent through the cookie session, right? I know everyone would be reviewing the bank and credit card statements. If not, try to review them and try to understand if there is any unrecognized transaction. Might be the hacker is trying to do small transactions so that it does not come to your head, right? I am say if he finds out that always on an average your credit card bill statement is about 75,000 to 80,000, right? But that month you have done 55 or 60,000. Hacker will just try to remove 5,000. But you will say, okay, ठीक है, last I did 60,000 or 80,000, 60,000 might have happened. No, hacker next time will again use the same thing, right? He is not monitoring your that, but he will try to remove small money. And then he will have a mindset that, okay, this gentleman is not reading this credit card. Let me remove one shot full and whatever happens, happens, right? Because what will happen, he has created that, okay, you were doing all these wrong transactions since last 3 months. He has created a history for the cops and everything, that it was your negligence and your part of stupidity which you did not check. So the entire case now turns on to yours. So be very particular about that, right? Remember, if you find that your bank account or card details have been stolen, right, please immediately call the bank to block them. You might have to pay 100 rupees, 200 rupees extra based upon your bank to get a new card. That is worth this. Inform the closest police station immediately and log a complaint. If you don't lodge a complaint, or if you say that after 3 months or 5 months I have this issue and all that, right, police might not be of any help to you. It is better to be safe rather than sorry. Fine. We now come to legal adherence, right? What is legal adherence means? There are laws and regulations which are there, right? Right. These laws and regulations are used to ensure that how do I respond to these bullies, right? So you should be aware of some legal laws, right? In terms of what are your problems, right? And what if you have done wrong, right? So be very particular about how you respond to a bully, right? As I said already, a bully is there to invoke something that you do something wrong, which you have typed. Once you have typed this and everything, he has a hard evidence which he will misuse against that. Okay, so these legal adherence laws take care of all this, right? Typically, it is common for anyone and everyone, right? That is I've just shown right now for child. Defined by law is any child below the age of 18 years is also called a child, is generally called a child. IT Act 67B, or right, IT Act 2008, Section 67B deals with this, right? Punishment for child pornography, right? You have explicitly found, or you have found that someone is doing that, right? You can charge that person against 67B of IT Act, right? Information medium has been defined by the Act: recording, publishing, transmitting, even facilitating that material, right, in any electronic form which is depicting a child in explicit act will be considered as a problem or a crime, right? Online behavior, cultivate or including a child to have online relations, and this is also defined as per IT Act, and this needs to be curtailed, right? A parent needs to have a overlook of all this, right? Reference that I've got is from the Times of India newspaper. The IT Act has been clearly addressed in this section. If you want, you can note down, dated 4th August 2018. It is on page number 2. Okay, it has even given you what all penalties are there. First conviction, 5 years jail or 10 lakhs. Subsequent 7 lakhs, ranging up to 10 lakhs or both. Even if you are found storing that, remember, there could be some surprise check which is going on at railway stations. Porn is found on your WhatsApp. You might have invited trouble. Okay, POSCO is for especially for children. Remember, children is also, and remember, I have explicitly said for under 18 that includes above 18 by default, right? Same things will apply to you also. Okay, how will you safeguard all this thing? Have a very open discussion with your child. Be very open and be very honest in discussing whatever is your online behavior, right? Online identity, talk with your child, especially teens, how important it is to maintain an positive online identity, right? A teen will become too very friendly, it creates a negative impression. Okay, ensure that all your security and privacy policies of your website, right, are enabled with security as such, like antivirus, right, something like blocking of this, right? I can enable safe search, right? So try to use all these features which are there, which are provided to you, right? And finally, behavioral changes. The key thing, remember, smartphones have changed the life, but if misused, they will change the child's life forever. So be very particular, right? It can even affect you, children of any age, right? We come back to the top 12 or 15 security best practices, which you are not supposed to be doing and which you are supposed to do. Okay, cyber do's and don'ts. So let us take cyber do's. Remember, always have a secured connection, HTTPS. This holds true for the entire thing what we have spoken since last 1.5 to 2 hours. Report. If you find any illegal or abusive content, please report it. Whom do you report? A child will report it to a parent or a teacher. If you find it is against you, you can go and report it to the court. In Bombay, we have the court at, you have the cyber cell at Bandra. It's at BKC. If you find bullying, report the online bullying immediately to the parent. If you want, you can take him to the court also or to the cops also. Use an alias or alter name as username if you need to interact with other online. I don't say that you create an alias name, but try to, if you have to use it, please create it alias. Respect others' privacy as you want your privacy to be respected. Copyright. Adhere to copyright restrictions, example, downloading internet materials, which include software, games, music, piracy, and all that stuff. Try to avoid that, right? It will not only affect your copyright concern, but it, because all the pirated softwares today have malware, which are more damaging than the amount that you pay to buy those softwares. Okay, always keep your browsers updated, your antivirus system updated. If you're using any anti-malware software, please ensure you update the anti-malware also. Anti-malwares get updated as of now only manually. Lock screens. Have a habit of even locking your screen or your tablet, right, when you even go out to have lunch, even if you are sitting at your house. By this, what I'm saying, a hacker will not be doing, but you are getting an habit to lock the screen, right? Be it in your office. In office, it is already taken by 5 minutes default time, but it will imbibe a good habit in you, right? Whenever you are chatting or talking, please lock the phone, right? So that you don't accidentally dial the numbers or you don't open up something else. Passwords, try to have a unique password for each account, right? Who will remember all these passwords? No, either use a third-party password manager tool from a reputed company so that you understand one password, or try to have many passwords. But at the same time, please do not write down the password. Okay. Software source, obtain it from a trusted source. Scan the file before downloading or opening it. Ask the antivirus. If the antivirus gives you a pop-out, things fishy, delete it. Right? If you're paid for it, it will definitely be good. But if says that okay, you've downloaded some free tool to do something just for some time, being 10 minutes, 5 minutes or something, like you want to merge a file or you want to convert from PDF, you have to convert to Word, right? So all these things are a cost for that programmer. How is he going to earn money? He is going to give you something bad in return, right? If you say that why I'm just converting PDF to Word, that confidential document of PDF which you have uploaded in server, tomorrow he can misuse you again, because he already has the IP address and the credentials from your login ID from your browser cookie cache, that so and so person has downloaded this, uploaded this information, and he will start tomorrow blackmailing you. So try to avoid all these things. Automation: enable lock screen automatically on the laptop when you go to sleep. Connect only to known Wi-Fi hotspots. What would you try to avoid? Try to avoid disclosing your password, right? If you are saying your password, please refrain from them. Emails: do not open emails and attachments from strangers. Remember, we did it right in the beginning. Be very particular what email is there, who has sent you that email. The authenticity and reputation of the email is of key importance. Personal information: never share anything, date of birth, right? So people have a habit of putting that I am born on so and so on Facebook, please wish me birthday, right? But you have shared that common information to your hacker, right? Social media: don't send any pictures to unknown persons or share it on the social media. Password sharings, we have said, do not share it except with your parents. Remember, children need to share the passwords with their parents. Not that the parents don't trust them, but if parent finds something fishy or something absurd, they can just have a look and feel that comfortable that okay, my child is not doing something wrong, or there is nothing wrong happening to my child. Do not respond to any suspicious mails or any insult which will try to provoke you to reveal your personal information. Do not save passwords inside the browser. Very important thing. Do not infect or try to infect anyone else. Right, the same way you don't want to get infected, please do not try to infect anyone. It is a part of a legal compliance. You will be put behind bars if you are found inflicting a damage onto anyone else's machine. It's a part of the IT Act. No bullying. Never impersonate anyone. And if you impersonate anyone, it falls in an IT Act 2008 with some punishments ranging from 6 months up to 6 months. Respect copyright. And finally, avoid downloading apps, right, from any of the websites which you are not aware of. Okay, this is just a small disclaimer, right? These are my contact details. With this, I come to the end of the presentation.
Thank you very much, Porus.
Yeah.
There are a couple of questions which you may like to take.
Yeah, I'll just start. Yeah.
They are in the chat box.
Okay. Okay, Porus Dada Chanji has asked, when paying by credit card on sites such as Amazon, we are asked to key in our CVV number to continue transaction. It is safe to do. Amazon, as I said, if you are on the Amazon site, which is amazon.co.in or Amazon, you know it is a proper genuine site. You have not gone through any of the links, vice. It is proper to share your CVV number, right? They might even sometimes save your CVV number, but generally after the transaction, they delete the CVV number. Thanks, Jaxus. What are the risks associated with installing smart devices at your home like Alexa, unlock doors and all that? Okay, right now there are many risks with Alexa, right? Alexa was supposed to record each and every, has been obtained copying each and every conversation that happened in a room. How far that fact has been materialized, as of now, I am not aware. But yes, try to avoid Alexa and all of them. Try to not put them in the, at least in the bedroom, because all these are web enabled and they are capable with cameras. Okay. Is Samsung secure enough to secure our phones or any other app recommended, please? Okay. Samsung Secure is not an antivirus solution. Samsung Secure is a software which is coming only on Samsung phones with some added features. If you want your phone to be 100% secured, or I would not say 100, relatively more secured, you need to have something known as an antivirus for that software or for that iOS or for that Android version.
If there are no more questions,
no more questions.
Thank you very much, Porus.
Yeah, thank you.
We had a very enlightening talk. Although it went on for more than an hour, I think everybody was gripped into listening to you.
Thank you.
I think the main features which everybody must understand are two things. One is greed and one is fear. And these are the two things which make people click on things which they should not be clicking on. If everybody learns that, I think we are secure. Thank you very much for a very enlightening talk. I wish you all the best. And thank you all for being patient listeners. Take care and good night.
Okay. Thank you very much. Good night, sirs. Good night, everyone.